guys. All right, session 5, organization matters in text, large and small. Have you ever watched a TV show where they do makeovers? I mention this because over the first few days of this unit, your table of contents have gone through similar makeovers. This is super cool. So today I want to teach you that everything you've learned about organizing a table of contents applies also to the work of organizing any chapter or any information text you are writing. Whenever you write an information text, start by making a miniature table of contents, even if it's just in your mind. We're actually going to practice on paper today, but you can do the same work in your mind. So this is how you do it. Okay, so planning out your chapters by making a mini table of contents. You're like, what? What are you talking about? I already have a table of contents. But I'm going to say that creating a miniature table of contents for each chapter really helps you think through what you're going to put into your chapter. So here is my mini table of contents for one of my cockroach chapters. The chapter is Cockroach Bodies Are Built for Survival. And then now in my mini table of contents, and this is just for me, it's not going to go into my actual book. It's for me to think through, what am I putting in my chapter? So in my mini table of contents for this chapter, I want to remind myself that I want to talk about the head, the abdominal part of the cockroach, the legs, and the cerci. That's like kind of like their tail. So do you see how this is the chapter? And in my book table of contents, this is what it's going to say. And I'm never going to have this in my book. So why do you have to do this? Because it helps you think through what you're going to put in your chapter. So here's your slide. This is yours. You're going to do this. So you're going to turn to slide 5 when you go into, or when you're done with my video, and you're going to create your own. So you have to type up here, what is the name of your chapter? And then you're going to think, what are the things I'm putting in my chapter? And not only are you thinking about the what are you putting in your chapter, but you're also thinking about making sure that the way that you put them in the chapter, the order of them makes sense. So think about that and then add table of contents for your chapter here on slide 5. So today, before you actually start writing and drafting your next chapter, create a mini table of contents to help you plan your chapter and make sure that it is logical. So you might also want to look back at other chapters that you've written already and make sure they are in a logical sequence. And if not, then you should be a great writer and fix it. So today, create your miniature table of contents on slide 5. And before drafting your chapters, check to make sure that your chapter will have a logical structure, and then continue drafting your chapters. If you need help, you can see me. Now, there's one more thing in this chapter, or in this session, that I want to talk to you about. So you've seen this before. This is a writing checklist, and we had one for our narrative unit. And now we have one for our information writing unit. So you're going to think about overall, you taught your readers about a subject, and you're going to say, you're thinking to yourself, did I do this? Not yet. Starting to, yes. Lead. I wrote a beginning in which I got readers ready to learn a lot of information about the subject. Transitions. I used words to show sequence, such as before, after, then, and later. I also used words to show what didn't fit, such as however and but. Ending. I wrote an ending that drew conclusions and asked questions or suggested ways that the reader might respond. I grouped my information into parts, and each part was mostly about one thing that connected to my big topic. And this is really what we're talking about with your table of contents, making sure that your information is well organized. And then we start talking about, how are we making sure that the book is interesting for your reader? So you want to make sure that you have facts and definitions and details and observations, and then you're choosing words or ways to get your reader interested in your subject. So you're teaching your information by using drawings or captions or diagrams. And then finally, we do have to pay attention to spelling and punctuation and making sure that we're using capital letters where capital letters belong, punctuating the end of every sentence, making sure that you notice where a sentence ends. So this is here in our session 5. I'll try to remember to add that each time we have another session. I'm going to put this into, actually, I'll put this into our language arts resources at the top of our classroom so that you can see it easily. All right, so mini table of contents today. Slide 5.